Hello, good yo-yo people. I'm Nate. I'm a sponsored player by G Squared Yo-Yos, and this is another episode of Nate Reviews Yo-Yos. Today, I have the privilege of reviewing a prototype yo-yo by a brand new company making their debut in the yo-yo industry by PolyTwist Designs. This is the Magician by PolyTwist Designs. As usual, this is the in the hand section. You will find in the description box everything you might want to know about this yo-yo, the specs and so on, and information about myself and my sponsor and everything. This yo-yo here, it was actually Thomas over at Throws and Brews reviewed this yo-yo, and he contacted me and said, "Hey, are you interested in maybe checking out this prototype?" And I was like, "Absolutely! I'm always interested in checking out new companies and new things that are coming out, and I love talking about brand new yo-yos and brand new companies, so that's this yo-yo. So thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Eamon, for giving me the opportunity to review this this fine yo-yo here. So, all right, let's go ahead and get into it. What does it feel like in the hand? All right. So let's talk about the shape. It's quite unique. Kind of reminds me of a little bit of a CLYW sort of feel to it, at least some of their newer stuff. A little bit of that Dune sort of bubbly feel to it on the rims. Very much like a Michelin Man sort of bubbly kind of feel to it. It's a V-shaped yo-yo, but it's definitely not orthodox by any means in its shape, which are going to give you a little bit less, string drag as far as maybe giving you a really good yo-yo for horizontal and things like that. Really nice gap on there, fairly comfortable in the hand, so it has that sort of a little bit organic feel to it, unintentionally maybe even, but with that V shape there as well. Pretty deep cups there. You're going to be able to probably get some decent finger spins there. There's a little bit of a nub there where the axle comes through. But yeah, you don't really have an IRG. You could probably tilt it and maybe get a little bit of a thumb grind on the inner, maybe. There's maybe a little more lift there right on the center. Simple blast, nothing crazy aggressive. It'll probably grind pretty well, but it's, pretty smooth. It has this sort of unicorn fade that you see on a lot of G2s. Yeah, it has a little bit of that too. That blue, purple, and pink sort of fade. Done pretty well. There's a little bit of anti-flaw in there, but it is a prototype. It's some interesting weight distribution. We'll talk about that a little bit more on the string section, see how that actually plays. But even kind of feeling it, it feels like a lot of the weight distribution's right kind of more in the middle. And we'll see how that actually plays and what that feels like on the string. Center track bearing, fairly long axle. I'm not sure the length on there exactly. I believe these are snow tires on here, so really decent, really nice pads on there, and overall really nice feeling in the hand. It has that really kind of beefy, full size feel to it. Really unique, fairly unique, I think. It's the in-hand section. Let's go see how it actually plays on the string. All right, so, hey, sorry about that. All right, so the in the hand section, talked a little bit about the weight distribution on here and what that might actually entail with how it plays. It's a prototype, so I'm going to treat it like such. I'm going to treat it as if, it's not going to maybe go into final production like this. The majority of yo-yos you play out there today, of course, have been prototyped already. And most yo-yos don't go through, oh, we went through prototyping once and that's exactly the way we want it. Most yo-yos, at least they tweak something. Now, companies that have been doing it for a while, they do have to do a little less of that probably, just because they just know a formula that works for them. But even still, I know with Jake, there's some yo-yos he prototypes a lot more than others. The Banshee had, I don't even know how many prototypes, a ridiculous amount. Maybe more so than some others. Right now, I think it's the the Reaper right now that's probably getting prototyped quite a bit and has quite a few different runs just to get it perfect, you know. And there's no shame in admitting that, like, oh, right, there's some things that need to be worked on. So here's what my final opinion of this, and I think Thomas talked about this a little bit too, was that the weight distribution on here is really a little tricky for me. I feel like there's maybe a little bit too much either center weight or a little bit too much middle weight and not quite enough rim weight. You even see kind of where that last bubble is kind of on the hub. It's not all the way out, and I feel like if he adjusted that or was able to pull off a few grams off the middle maybe or something, I'm not sure exactly what needs to be done on the design. Again, I'm not a designer, but I think that would help with some of the decrease in spin times. Because of the diameter of this yo-yo and the width of this yo-yo and everything that's going on with it, it should have ridiculous spin times. It should have competing spin times with other yo-yos that are like this in this category. However, towards the end of tricks, you kind of having to reach for it a little bit because it's kind of dying out on you. I would say it's fairly stable, you know, and it's overall, you know, plays very smooth on the string. I think it's really comfortable on the catch. It's really unique. Yeah, it plays really smooth. It plays solid. But I do think as a prototype, there is a little bit of work that maybe needs to be done with the weight distribution. I did talk about in the hand section how the shape of this yo-yo has a lot less, really beneficial for a lot less string drag. So it really pulls away from the rims because of that bubbly sort of shape to it. So you're going to get the best of all worlds with a V shape. It's really going to keep that string from dragging as much as possible. Finger spins on this yo-yo also really solid. Ooh. All right, let's go ahead and actually throw a trick. All right, so that's a good example of a trick like that where I'm really kind of losing some spin times on this yo-yo. I have to throw that really hard to get a trick. That's not a very long trick, but I do feel like I have to really throw it pretty hard to extend on tricks like that with more string wraps. So it, you know, it may even be a gap issue a little bit too. I might be getting just a little bit more drag than you need to, but it's hard to tell. Again, I'm not a designer, but I do think, I think the overall issue probably is the weight distribution on this yo-yo. Really, I do like the shape of it. I think it's unique. I like the character that it has. It's really unique in its sort of feel and play. I think it's going to add a little more float to it with that too. It's not a brick by any means or anything like that. So the overall play on the string is nice, but I do think it needs some more spin time, big time. Stability, everything else is there, and I think that'll increase in the stability as well. All right, that is my final word on The Magician by PolyTwist Designs. All right, that is my review of The Magician. Good day and good yo-yo.